Hi and welcome to the podcast. My name is Kristen. You can find me on Instagram as Skein Yarn and on Ravelry as K10, that's K10. Hope you're doing really well. Hope you all had a lovely Easter break. Unfortunately I wasn't feeling that great at the beginning of the Easter long weekend. It was very odd. I felt like I was coming down with a cold, but it just never kind of eventuated. But I had the aches and pains and headache, and it was just really odd. So I felt very tired, and so Friday and Saturday I pretty much did nothing. I had great plans too, which is a bit of a bummer. I had the regalia blouse from Sew House 7 cut out and ready to sew, but I didn't get any of that done. I just pretty much watched podcasts. I was even feeling too sick to knit, which is a bit of a bummer, and you're really sick when you don't feel like knitting. Anyway, I think by about Sunday I felt a little bit better, and then Monday I was okay. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame, but anyway, what can you do? At least I could just relax at home. That was really nice. So yeah, I don't have a huge amount of things to show because I haven't really been knitting a lot. So apart from being sick, I've just been really busy with work. It's been great actually. We had a few visits to the shop last week. We had a group of 5 women and then another local show up, which was great. It was a lot of fun. And I've been getting the shop update ready for this week, and I've been getting our new Shibori dyed bags ready. So yeah, I have been really busy. So yeah, it's been good. I'll talk about what I'm wearing later, but this is a Soldotna croc by Caitlin Hunter, and I've worn this a couple of times on the podcast. It's actually one of my favorite makes, but yeah, this one's a sample, but I will talk about it a little bit later. Let's just dive in. So before I begin, I just want to mention the make along, which is our 15-year anniversary make along. So we've been running Skein for 15 years. That will be in May, this coming May, which is really exciting, and it's crazy to think that we've been in business for 15 years. It really just doesn't feel that long. It's just flown. I just can't even believe it. So yeah, we're doing a make along, and I'm running it over on Ravelry, and we have had a few people come over and sign up, and I do know there's more people who will be joining in because they have contacted me. So that's really exciting. So basically it is knitting with our yarn, but you don't have to knit the whole project with our yarn. You can add it in as a stripes, or as long as there's a little bit of skein yarn in your project, that's fine. Cast on date is the 1st of May, and I'm going to be running it throughout May. So it's 1 month. There's no pressure to finish. It's just a cast on. It's knit along or make along. You can weave if you want to, crochet, knit, punch needle, whatever you feel like doing is fine. And yeah, it's just a nice sort of opportunity to knit together. And already people have posted on Ravelry, and we have a lot of customers who have been with us for pretty much 15 years, which is amazing. So they have they've been stash diving and showing off their old skein yarn colors, which is a walk down memory lane, and it's really interesting. I find it funny too because I can date our yarn by the labels, because we started off with swing tag labels, then we went to actual skein labels, and yeah, we've had a few variations of the skein label, so that was cool. But yeah, it's been really nice to see the colors, and hear the stories. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, please come over and join us. You can also just participate on Instagram as well. I have a hashtag which I'll put down below. I believe it's SY Makealong is the hashtag. And yeah, I am also thinking, I was looking at it this morning. I have been looking at it on and off for a while now, but I would like to, I really want to get like some sort of community thing happening, like Ravelry, but I do understand there's a lot of people who don't use Ravelry, and I totally understand. But I'm trying to find a good way of having a place where it's more of a forum. Instagram's great for photos and sharing what you're making, but it's not great as a group sort of activity, because everybody sort of has their singular accounts. You can follow hashtags, but yeah, I don't know, it's just not the same thing. So yeah, I was looking at Discord. Is it Discord? Pretty sure it is Discord, isn't it? Yeah. And I know there's a few dyers and designers who have Discord accounts, and yeah, I mean, I've looked at it. I think it's a really good place for group forums and chats, because you can keep up to date with what's happening easily. There's no, you just go to the group and then you can see the chats. You can post photos. Yeah, it seems to be the best way to go. So anyway, in saying that, I am thinking of opening up a Skein Yarn Discord group. It is free to join, so there's no fee. You can just go over and join. The only thing is, to join in a group, I need to have a link for people to follow, and it's like an invite link. So anyway, I'm going to get that sorted this weekend, I think, or next week, and I'll be posting about that on Instagram or wherever, and I'll mention it next week or next podcast. Yeah, so anyway, that's where I am with that. So let's talk about what I've been making. So I have my parents coming up tomorrow. It's my dad's birthday. I mentioned that last week, and I made him some socks, and I did finish them. So these are knit out of one of our Sugar Rush colours, which we had a massive Sugar Rush update last week for Easter, and it went really well. These are just so much fun to knit with for socks. So it's basically, you get one whole skein and a mini skein, and I always make the contrast skein either kind of match it, so like it'll match up with what the colors that are in the yarn itself, or I'll do it so that it's bright and completely mismatched. So yeah, anyway, because it is fun having contrast yarn for heels and toes and stripes and that sort of stuff. So I just did a basic basic couple of stripes and then a contrast heel. I didn't worry about doing the contrast toe. And I've got them on these sock blockers, but they are way too small for the socks, but I couldn't find my other set of sock blockers, so this had to do. Anyway, I did actually wash and block these, which I don't normally do. I just usually bind off and start wearing them, but I did actually wash these. And yeah, so he'll get these tomorrow when I see him. The pattern I use is just a very basic vanilla sock pattern. It's a pattern I wrote up. It's very easy, it's free. I don't even really look at the pattern much anymore, except usually when I'm turning the heel. I usually have to have a quick peek at the numbers that I need to use to turn the heel, because I get a bit confused. I'm okay for my size because I knit so many socks for me and my size, but yeah, for some reason the bigger sizes, when I knit Paul's socks and Dad's socks, I get a bit confused with the heel turn. So anyway, I usually have to stop and have a quick look. But yeah, okay, so that's those. And then I ended up working again on my Satama Shawl by Veera Välimäki, and I have this way. I have about this much done. It's a triangular shawl, but it's got sections of brioche, 2-color brioche, and then Garda, and then I'm actually on the 1-color brioche at the moment, so it sort of alternates between brioche and Garda. It's very easy, very nice to knit. I'm really loving these colors. This is Moonglade, which is a color I did for a collection which was the landscape collection. Unfortunately, this color is sold out. And then I paired it with Topaz, which is this peachy pink with orange. So this is one of our regular colors, and they look really lovely together, that teal with the peach. This is going to be a sample for the shop, and yeah, it's really lovely pattern, very easy to pick up and put down and work on, and I really love brioche. The only problem I have with it that I didn't think about when I cast on for this shawl is the needles are bamboo, and if you've ever knit brioche, the first row is fine, but it's when you're coming back to knit the second row, the yarn over stitches get quite tight, and yeah, I struggle a bit trying to pull the stitches up to knit them on these bamboo needles. But anyway, that's just my mistake. But yeah, really enjoying this one. And I did actually cast on, so Sunday, like I said, I was feeling a lot better, so I had headspace to cast on something new. So I decided to, I spoke about this in the last podcast, I think. I cast on the Basil Cardigan by Amy Christoffers, which is a top-down raglan. I don't know how well this is going to show up in the camera because it's very dark yarn. Is it there? I don't know if you can see that. My little screen on the camera is teeny tiny, so I can barely see what I'm showing you. But anyway, it's, yeah, top-down raglan. You start with the collar, which is so cute. It's a little pointed collar, and the way that Amy has designed this is just so lovely. So the collar's knit like widthways across, and it's shaped with short rows, and then you come back and pick up along the long edge of the collar, and then you start the body. So it's a lovely pattern. It's been really thought out, and it just comes together so beautifully, and I just love it. It just looks, I mean, I know it is a collar, but I'm just so amazed at how neat and professional the collar looks. It's fantastic. So I don't think I've ever knit a cardigan with a collar like this before. I've done shawl collars and just like neck bands, but I don't think I've done one like this before. And it's really lovely. Sorry, I'm gonna have to let my cat out because she's gonna start meowing. One sec. Okay, so yeah, really enjoying this. The yarn is our winter worsted. I don't often knit with worsted weight yarn because the climate that we're in, it's yeah, you just don't get to wear it as much. But I figure with a cardigan, you can leave it open. It's sort of a bit more versatile, I think. And I must say, I love knitting with worsted though. It's like DK weight yarn, it just goes so quickly. Like, I can't believe that from Sunday and today's Thursday, I've almost finished the yoke section of the cardigan. So it's just crazy. I always feel very comfortable knitting sweaters too. It's just my jam. I love sweaters. Yeah, I just really enjoy knitting them. So the color is Eclipse, and again, I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to see, but it's a very dark chocolatey kind of brown, and it has this purple undertone, and there are flecks of like gold and blue in it. So it's very much a tonal yarn, and I spoke about this the last time. I think I knit the Through Lines shawl or scarf by Andrea Mowry recently using this color, and I just loved it so much. So, and I really wanted to knit a sweater with it, so that's why I chose that color for this. And yeah, this is not going to be a sample. This is mine. I'm not going to give this one up. I have so many samples at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a sample in our worsted weight, but I'm not giving this one up. I'm really looking forward to wearing this in winter. So that's it for my makes. Like I said, I've got the regalia blouse, the sewing pattern cut up and ready to start. I will say, actually, one thing I did do on Sunday when I was feeling a little bit better, I had a complete mess. I'm looking over at my dining room table because I had all of my sewing stuff out for like weeks. I don't really have a place for it. So while I was sitting here on the couch feeling sick, I kept looking at it and thinking, God, what am I going to do with all that stuff? Got my parents coming in and have to put it away. And then I thought, well, I have this, it's only a small linen cupboard, but it was actually full of old stuff that really needed to be sorted through. So on Sunday, I got into the linen cupboard and sorted through everything, threw out a few old things, and I made space, a whole bottom section, which was, it's quite high. So it was just the right amount of space to fit my sewing machine and my overlocker, and then next to that I have my little sewing case and a few other little bits and pieces. So I was so pleased. So now that area is completely tidy, and now when I want to sew, I can just pull out my sewing machine and set it up. So I'm really happy about that. So next weekend, hopefully, when our visitors are gone, I can do a little bit of sewing. It's funny, I find knitting, I love sewing, but knitting for me, I can do it any time. I don't have to be in any kind of mood. I just pick it up and it's, yeah, I can work on it. But with sewing, I do have to be in a headspace to sew, probably because I'm not... like I'm a lot more confident and comfortable with knitting, whereas sewing, I'm still sort of at that phase where I'm still a little bit of a beginner, I guess. And yeah, I need to have headspace, like I need to have the energy to actually think about what I'm doing and sew. So yeah, it's a bit more of a commitment. So last week on Instagram, there was a really lovely top that was released by a new to me designer from France, Marianne Mounier, and I'll pop a picture up of the top. Anyway, it's funny because this was exactly what I was wanting to make for our recent knit along, which was a summer tee. Anyway, it's a lovely lace at the bottom, and then just a plain top with a would you call that a V-neck? Anyway, a nice sort of lower V-neck. Anyway, I happened to comment on it, and then I got talking to Marianne on Instagram, and she very kindly sent me the pattern on Ravelry. So that was so lovely, and I just wanted to share it here. I have it in my library, and I'm definitely going to be making it for next summer. I actually think this pattern would look amazing either in our silky sock, our Daintree, which would be amazing, which is bamboo, silk and merino, and it has a really lovely drape, or even our Lano base, which is merino and linen. So I'm super keen to cast that on, and yeah, I just wanted to mention that on the podcast because it was very lovely that she sent that to me. Yeah, it was really nice. Anyhow, okay, so that's it for what I've been making. So what I'm wearing is the Soldotna crop by Caitlin Hunter, which I've mentioned before, and this is a sample. And every single time we have people in the shop, they comment on this. It's just one of those tops, and of course it is like, it's quite graphic. The pattern is lovely. I think it's just one of those designs that is like eye candy. You see it and it's just so wonderful, like the patterning and everything that Caitlin put together, it just looks so good. But also this was knit using our Curly DK, which is a Boucle yarn, and I wanted to try knitting a colour work with Boucle just to see what would happen if I did that, and yeah, I was really pleased with how this turned out. And like I said, I always get lots of compliments when people come to the shop or people see it in person. It's just one of those makes. I think the Boucle adds a really nice layer to the overall design, because it's got this lovely bubbly texture which sort of adds to the color work. Anyway, I decided this week we have, going into the shop this week, we have Boucle yarn, and I decided to do kits for this top. So the kits are dyed to order, and I have about 5 different colors, different options. So I have this option, and then there's a couple more. You'll be able to see them. I did like a greeny sort of color one that was blue, one that was yellow, like yellowy orange. I think there's a neutral one. Anyway, you can check it out on the website. But also on top of that, we have Curly going into the shop as well. So this is our, like I just said, DK weight, Boucle base, and it's actually, the yarn has been spun from extra fine merino, which I think might be a micron count of 19. So it's very fine, and you can feel it. It's very, very soft. It's a lovely yarn to use, actually. And I had a few patterns picked out for the Boucle, because I think a lot of people, they love the look of the yarn, but they're just not quite sure what to make with the yarn. So I'll run you through a few ideas that I came up with for patterns, and yeah, and then we can talk about the yarn while we're talking about the pattern ideas. Okay, so the first pattern is the White Mountains Light by Midori Hirose, and I absolutely love this pattern. I've had this in my queue for quite some time, and what I love about this pattern for this yarn is the fact that it's a very basic sweater design. So color work, yes, is great with Boucle too, but what you don't want to knit with boucle is anything that has texture in it, because it's going to be overwhelmed by the texture of the yarn itself, and lace, because it's just not going to show up very well. But this design is so perfect. It is a top-down sweater, and it has two different necks. There's a boat neck and a crew neck. And from what I can see on the Ravelry page, you can actually knit this design in lots of different yarns. So it was first designed for DK weight, but then she's added on to it, so you can actually, there's a sleeveless version, there's a sleeve version, a short sleeve version. You can knit it in DK, you can knit it in fingering weight. So yeah, it's one of those patterns that you really kind of want to have in your library, because there's lots of different versions that you can do. Anyway, I was thinking for this sweater, I love these yarns, these colors for this sweater. I mean, of course you can choose any color, but I love tequila, and I really like fluoro peach. This is very bright on camera, but in person it's not as bright as what it looks like on the camera. So yeah, but it would still be quite a statement jumper. So that was the first pattern that I was looking at. The second sweater is the Scarlet sweater by PetiteKnit, and she actually has quite a few patterns that would be perfect for a boucle type yarn, because she has a lot of her sweaters are quite plain, which is great to use something a little bit different with your yarn. This one is a top down. It looks very simple to knit. There is like a line of raised stitches that runs down the middle of the front and back, kind of similar to, it reminds me a little bit of The Weekender by Andrea Mowry. But yeah, this would be just one of those patterns that it would be perfect for boucle, and I was really loving these colors for this sweater. On the newsletter I put these together with the Scarlet sweater. So we have Eclipse, which is what I'm knitting my Basil sweater out of, my Basil cardigan, Cocoa Bean, and then also Rust. So yeah, these would be great for this one. The next sweater is the Nebula sweater by Andrea Mowry, and I knit this a while ago actually with our Cushy DK, but I would actually really like to try knitting it with the boucle base. Actually, the Nebula that I knit is a sample, so that was, I used really heavily variegated yarn for that, because again, it's a very plain sweater, so it's great if you want to have a bit of fun with your yarn choices, whether it be a textural yarn or a heavily variegated yarn. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of perfect for boucle yarn. So I was putting these together for Andrea's pattern. So we have very, very bright green. This is Choco. I love this color. I don't think I can wear it, but yeah, I really love it. So Choco, I don't know why, like, it's really funny actually. Recently, this really bright green keeps popping into things that I'm knitting. It's very strange. I've never ever liked or worn bright green, but for some reason it's there. Big teal, which I've used quite often, and this never comes up in the camera properly. It always comes up looking kind of dull blue, but it is a very, very rich teal. It's gorgeous. Actually, this is big teal in my sweater. And then Arctic blue. Oh, it's just such a squishy yarn. I wish you guys could feel it. It's just so soft and squishy, and actually wearing it is just really lovely. The other thing that I really like about boucle too is the way that it's been spun. It's not a heavy yarn. So DK weight yarn, because it is you know, 3 or 4 strands plied together, it does have a weight to it, whereas curly has a lot of air to it. It's almost like like fuzzy yarn. It feels very light, but there's a warmth to it. Well, that's exactly what this is too. It's very feels very light, but it's actually quite a nice weight to wear. Great for sort of in between, I think. If you live in a very cold climate, this would be a lovely layer, I think, and also good for not midwinter. You'd be looking more at worsted and chunky, but for like a lighter beginning of winter, maybe autumn or spring sweater. The final pattern is the Field Day Cardigan by Ozetta, who is Hayley Smedley. I've had this in my queue for a very long time. I really love this cardigan, and I really should try and make it. This would be for me. I wouldn't make, I mean, I would make this as a sample, but I'd find it hard to give this one up. I love the look of this. It's very sort of grandpa cardigan look with a modern twist. It has a very deep V neck line, and is it drop shoulder? Yeah, it's a drop shoulder design, which I really love. I seem to be able to wear drop shoulders better than raglans for some reason, but I actually really prefer knitting drop shoulders too, because I like the fact that you're knitting quite a chunk of the sleeve in with the body, sort of splits the work of the sleeve up a bit. But yeah, I really love this cardigan, and honestly it would look fantastic in really any colour. A really bright statement pink cardigan would be nice, even like a darker cardigan or something in teal. I mean, you could knit this with any yarn, any colour. It'll look fantastic. So yeah, I really should try and prioritize this, because I really like it a lot. Cardigans are just so handy too to have, aren't they, in your closet? They're just really good layering pieces, and I feel like living here in Coffs Harbour, having that layering ability is kind of, it makes it a lot more wearable, because sweaters really, I mean, maybe, yeah, winter they're great to wear. I mean, I am usually quite cold in winter, so I can get away with wearing just sweaters, but it is really nice to have the ability to take cardigans on and off. So yeah, I really should try and make more of them. I mean, I've got Basil Cardigan on my needles now, which I'm absolutely loving, and I can't wait to get that done. But yeah, I think I need more cardigans. Okay, so finally I just wanted to talk quickly about some Shibori bags that I've been dyeing for the shop. I'm super pleased with how these all turned out. I think I mentioned that my mum actually used to dye Shibori, and she did dye bags actually for our shop quite a few years ago. But it's weird how life just all of a sudden, like, I've never really thought about doing this for the shop, and then all of a sudden I got this urge to dye Shibori bags. I actually, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Shibori, I did do a blog post mainly about the techniques that are used, which I think there's 5 different styles traditionally of Shibori, and they each have a meaning which is linked to nature. It's very interesting. It's so amazing, the whole process and history behind it. But I'll link that below. So that's a blog post that I just wrote about it, and actually I scoured YouTube and got some really good videos so you can see the techniques in action. So yeah, so these are the bags that I dyed up. They are 100% cotton. They are a mid-weight cotton, so they're pretty hardy. They're not light. cotton, they actually have quite a heft to them. So yeah, I've dyed them up in all different patterns and different colors. I had a lot of fun doing these, and the colors that I chose, this bag's interesting because one side's lighter than the other. And again, with Shibori, any sort of difference in pattern or whatever, it's meant to be taken as is. Like, there is no bad Shibori, basically. it's just one of those things. It's the process, and it's just what happens. It's the same as hand-dyed yarn. Every skein is unique, just like every Shibori pattern is unique, which is fascinating. So yeah, the colors that I did, I based off coastal colors. So the colors themselves are quite desaturated, muted. There's no bright colors. It's all to do with lovely sand and sunset and waves and beach stones and all that sort of stuff. So I think they turned out really well. I had an absolute ball, and actually seeing them hanging up in the studio, it just filled me with joy. I just love the colors, I love the patterns, and I really love the process. It was just so much fun. So there's a lot of folding in Shibori and clamping. You can use pegs, you can use clips, you can use twine to bind fabric. You can use rubber bands. This is actually one style, I can't remember the name of it, but it's linked to tie-dye and modern day tie-dye, where you have the bands of bands of colour where it's resist, so it's where it stops the dye from coming through. So yeah, these are just a few. I have 20 different bags in the shop, and they're only $30 each, so that's Australian. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing a few more of these as time goes on, but it will just be a fun thing. They are actually quite a bit of work, because you are folding and doing all that, and that kind of does take a bit. And then the dyeing is easy. You just chuck it in dye, stir it and leave it to dye. But then afterwards, when you take them out and dry them, then you've got to iron the bags. So, and these bags, like I said, the cotton's quite thick, so ironing them takes a bit of effort, because yeah, they do, because of the process, and you're scrunching up the fabric. It does take a bit to iron out those creases. But anyway, like I said, I really enjoyed it. So these will be in the shop tomorrow on Friday, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do a few more. The size of the bags too, I think I can't remember the actual dimensions. I'll put it down below, but it is enough to fit most sweater projects or large shawls. So yeah, they are quite roomy. They're not tiny. So I actually would like to find some bags to do some smaller projects, for smaller projects, like a sock knitting bag. That'd be fun. Maybe a drawstring, or actually, funnily enough, I have one here that my mum dyed. So this is a little sock pouch. So I use this all the time. So something like that, or even a little zippered pouch would be fun. But anyway, yeah. So I hope you're all doing really well. I have no idea how long I've been speaking. It feels like I haven't been speaking for that long, but I probably have. Hope you're doing really well, and yeah, come join the make along, which is running over on Ravelry, and the kickoff date will be Thursday next week. So that's our 15 years make along, which is amazing. I have a lot of things planned for next month, which is fun. I've got new yarns coming in. I'll be dyeing some older colors just for that month to bring back to reminisce. And then I have more fun things planned for the following month, which I'm getting together now. So yeah, lots of things happening. And yes, and also I'll try and get a Discord group happening, which should be good. Hopefully that will kick off soon. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and happy knitting, and thank you so much for joining in. I'm so pleased. I mean, I have spoken about the horrible times on Instagram, and funnily enough, I was reading a post about another dyer who's had a lot of troubles getting their stuff out on Instagram because God knows why, but the reach and everything has just gone through the floor for everyone, and it's horrible. So yeah, supporting each other on Instagram is great, but it's actually, I really love this community too. It's a really good place to connect with you guys. I can actually talk. I feel much more comfortable talking and doing this on YouTube than I do on Instagram. The thought of having to do a live or a video on Instagram, I just freaks me out. I don't know why, because I do it here. But anyway, all that to say is thank you for joining in, and thank you for contributing and giving comments and likes and subscribing and all that sort of stuff. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'll be back in 2 weeks time. And yeah, happy knitting, and talk to you soon. Bye.